guys, what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back with this week's Wip Chat. As you can see, I'm not diamond painting. Now, I did kind of maybe have an idea. This is just like squared paper that I just drew this little design on that I'm now coloring in, and I just really want to get it done. So I'll probably get this colored in and maybe start drawing probably the same freaking pattern, because I just love this pattern. It's very easy. But normally I diamond paint, and whip stands for work in progress, not we're gonna whip somebody. This is my current whip. Get your dirty minds out the gutter, people. But my goodness, where are my manners? My mama would be so upset with me, telling me, you know, I raised you better than that. How are you? I hope you are doing fabulous and wonderful. I am definitely feeling better than what I did last week. So yeah, that knocked me on my tobacco, whatever it was. It was like 2 days. I was like, whew, leave me alone. I don't feel good. But yeah, so of course, you know, I didn't really take notes. I need to get back into taking notes. So this is going to be like a little bit of a different Wip Chat. One, I'm not diamond painting. And two, you know, I'm just going to tell you about my week. And I figured I would do some tag questions, because it's been a while since the last time I think I've done a tag question, get to know me, and I've gotten, you know, new subscribers since then. So that's the plan, Stan. So oakley dokley. So let's see, where did we leave off? I have absolutely no clue what I did last Thursday. And the thing is, I'm like, again, this comes down to I need to start writing things down again, because it's like, oh, I need to talk about that on my Wip Chat. And I totally forget. And I'm like, wasn't there something you wanted to talk about? So, but yeah, so Thursday, I have absolutely no clue. And then Friday was, you know, I worked, and I went to the bank, and did I have Gabriel on Friday? I don't think so. I don't remember. Anywho, but I talked to, no, I didn't have Gabriel, because as I was walking out of the bank, the one guy that like sits at the at a desk by the door, I was like, you know, what do I have to do, or who do I have to talk to about, you know, trying to like get approved for a mortgage? And he was like, oh, he's like, well, I can help you and get you set up, blah, 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 blah. So I was, you know, talking to him and just, you know, just telling him, I was like, it's getting to the point where the rent around here is absolutely ridiculous, but the pricing of housing around here is also absolutely freaking ridiculous. That I was like, you know, like what I'm paying now is a freaking, like, it's a mortgage payment. I could probably get like a bigger house, probably like with a mortgage payment of what I'm paying in rent now, or, you know, find something that's cheaper. So, you know, he was like, oh, well, let me, you know, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, we do all this, and I was like, you know, he's like, well, and he tried calling the lady, like the mortgage person that I'd have to talk to, and I guess she was away from her desk, and he left her a message, and he was like, well, he was like, I can also, you know, email her. He's like, you know, when's good for you? And this was like Friday afternoon. And I was like, he's like, what about Monday? And I'm like, nope, not Monday. Monday is my busiest day. Like, I'm not going to have time. So he was like, well, what about Tuesday? And I was like, that works. Well, then the bank manager came up, and she's the one who told him, like, well, why don't you try calling her on the phone? So I was like, okay, you know, and like we were talking about, like I was telling him, I was like, what I really want, I want to try, you know, like, because I'd be a first-time home buyer. They have all these, like, different, you know, different things. And he was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, like telling me. And I was like, you know, and I'm really hoping that I can find, you know, like, the seller would, like, cover the closing costs type of thing. Like, I know, I'm reaching. But, you know, I don't know, it's hard to save money with, like, what rent prices are. I'm like, if I could move in somewhere, like, live with somebody for, like, 3 months, I could definitely save some money. But let's be realistic. That's not going to happen. So the lady winds up calling me on Friday, you know, and we go over, like, everything, and I'm not pre-approved, but, like, basically she was like, you know, like, well, what price range are you looking at? And I was like, and I told her, I was like, well, you know, like, I've been looking at Zillow, and in all honesty, probably, like, the highest that, like, I would feel comfortable with, like, going to buy with, like, what the mortgage rates are on, like, the Zestimate, I was like, it's $250,000. And she's like, okay. She's like, well, you know, there's the 30-year fixed rate, blah, blah, blah. And then there's, like, the 15-year fixed rate, where the 15-year fixed rate, the interest rate is, like, 0.5%. It's, like, the difference, but it's, like, a $400 difference in the payment. And the 30-year rate, like, and she told me, like, the 30-year rate is, like, kind of, like, unrealistic. And I'm like, I'm hoping she meant the 15-year one, because I'm like, unless you're going to pay some of this, like, I don't know what to tell you. But the 30 fixed year rate, you know, with what I was approved, I think it was, like, $242,500 for a house, and, you know, it would be about, like, what I'm paying now in rent. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, that's fine. Like, I know I can pay it. So, but she just kind of, like, irritated me, because I was telling her about, you know, like, I was looking at the first time home buyer thing, you know, like, what are my options, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, we don't have that. And, like, I was like, well, should I just call my credit union, which I need to do. My car payment is through a credit union. And I'm like, you know, maybe I could get, like, a better interest rate. Because here's the thing, like, trying to find a house in the price range that I'm looking in, like, around this area, like, I'm not saying that, like, it can't be done. Like, I have found, like, one or two, most of them in that price area. And, I mean, I also have some, like, if I'm going to buy a house, there's, like, certain things that, like, I won't buy, like, a trailer or a mobile home in Florida, because if you get, like, a hurricane or heavy storms, you have to evacuate, and I'm not going without my dog. So that's a no. But, like, if I were to ever move back to Pennsylvania, I'd buy, like, a double wide. I wouldn't care. But not in Florida. And then right now I rent, it's a 2-bedroom, and it's about 1,200 square feet. So I'm like, I don't really want to downsize. And when I say, it's like I get all excited, because I'm like, oh, you know, like, the outside of the house on Zillow looks great. And I'm like, oh, the price range is good. And then I start reading, and it's like, handyman special. And I'm like, okay, like, well, how bad is the handyman special? And you look at the pictures, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, because I'm like, well, if it's just, like, drywall or something, like, my family owns 3 drywall businesses. Like, I'm not worried about that. But, like, some of it's, like, you can see, I guess, where there's, like, roof damage, and, like, the drywall is falling, the insulation is falling, and I'm like, so is the roof fixed? Like, because if it's just the insulation and the drywall, but then, like, you really start looking, and I'm like, no. And I don't want to live in an HOA, because, like, it's like, yeah, I might be able to afford the mortgage and the property taxes and all that, and the HOA when I move in there, but who's to say that, you know, they don't raise the HOA so high that I can't afford it. And then, yeah, that's not good. So if I don't have to do an HOA, and down here in Florida, almost every place is an HOA. So, I mean, like, there's some things I'll give a little bit on. But then there's some things that I'm like, nope. Like, where I live now, the kitchen's very tiny, not a lot of cabinets. So I feel like my kitchen always looks like it's a mess because there's just stuff on the counters. And I'm like, I want something that has more cabinet space. I want it to at least be a 2-bedroom, you know. I don't want to, like, downgrade in square footage, like, too much, you know what I mean? I'd like to try to keep the same square footage or not, or at least not more. So trying to find that, like, excuse me, in the area that I live now, yeah, like I said, I mean, I have found some, but in all honesty, my lease isn't up here until the end of August. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I was getting frustrated this weekend, like, looking at, like, houses and stuff like that. Because I'm like, because, like, I found this one, it was in Sarasota, and I was like, oh, like, this is great, this is perfect. It was like it was actually a 3-bedroom. It had like a bonus, like, sit-in room off of the master bedroom. So I was like, I could put my office in one room, have my craft room off of my bedroom. Like, it was perfect. And it was like under what, like, my price range would be. Like, or, you know, like, and there was, like, nothing wrong with it. And I was like, yeah, what are you going to do? Like, call up Wells Fargo and be like, okay, I found a house. Da, da, da. And, like, and what? Ask the sellers to, like, hold out until, you know, the end of August when my lease is up. I'm like, let's be realistic. Nobody's going to do that. So I'm like, I just need to stay off of Zillow and looking at houses. But, yeah, no. The houses around here are absolutely ridiculous. Or it's like, if I do find, like, a 2-bedroom house that's, like, in my price range, it's like anywhere from 600 to 900 square feet. And I'm like, that means the rooms are going to be, like, teeny tiny. And I'd rather not downgrade from what I'm running, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being snobby and stuck up. And I'm like, it's got to have a bathtub. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like, I've lived somewhere before where I was like, oh, it's not a big deal if I don't have a bathtub. But it's like, I like to soak in the bath. And, or like when you don't feel good and you want to soak in the bath and all you have is a shower. Yeah. And I ain't trying to squeeze my butt into a Rubbermaid container. Nope. So, yeah. So it's got to have a bathtub. I'm like, I'd prefer if it had a fenced-in yard, but that's not, like, the end of the world if it doesn't. And then I was like, well, I want a decent-sized backyard. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, if you're not in an HOA, who's going to cut that backyard? And who do you think has to take care of that backyard? I'm like, you dum-dum. I was like, okay. So the backyard doesn't have to be necessarily that big, just like a, I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger than what I have now. And what I have now is actually like AstroTurf. It's fake grass. So maybe that's what I can do. Just lay down fake grass. But Roscoe won't go potty on it. So yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm just talking to myself here. But yeah. So that was basically more or less like my weekend. And then I did find like some places that were like in my price area, because originally, like, I was looking in Orlando. And that's another thing. I talked to my brother on Friday, because my brother, Demon Seed, is a real estate agent in Pennsylvania. So I called him up and I was like, hey, like, can I, like, pick your brain and ask you some questions because I don't know, you know. And he also, him and his wife bought a house, so, you know, they've, like, been through this before. So, and I was like, you know, I know things aren't exactly the same in Pennsylvania as they are in Florida, but, you know, it's got to be somewhat similar. And I called him up and he answered the phone and he was in the car and Chicky Nuggy was with him. And I was talking and I heard her and she thought I was my sister-in-law. And she goes, Mommy? And I'm like, no, it's Aunt Nene. And I swore that my Chicky Nuggy said Aunt Nene. My heart melted into like a big, giant, mushy freaking puddle. I mean, my brother says she didn't. He's full of lies and just trying to rip my heart out. She said it. Chicky Nuggy said Aunt Nene. But yeah, so because I was like I was telling him, I was like, yeah, you know, like, well, there's Orlando right now has really cheap, I forgot a black square right there, mother humper. And my markers are downstairs. I just brought this one upstairs. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm finding really good, you know, prices, you know, because my brother was also like, well, you know, just because you got approved for that, like, if you could find something cheaper, and he recommended, you know, doing like a condo with an HOA. And I get where he's coming from, but I was like, look, I'm like, I mean, chances are I'm living in Florida. I'm probably going to have to do an HOA. But if I really don't have to do an HOA, I would prefer not to do an HOA. Because, again, it comes down to that whole, if they raise that HOA, you know, number too high and I can't afford it, I'm screwed, because that's what's happened to some of these people is they raised the HOA so high that they can't afford the mortgage, the HOA, and everything else. And I'm like, I'm trying to think of in the future. Like, in the way things have been going here, like, it could be like I move in there and a year later I can't afford it because of the HOA. So, but yeah, I told him, I was like, yeah, there's places in Orlando. Like, I'm finding really good places. Like it's more my options were like in Orlando. And I forgot this line right here. I can quick do that. Boop. And my brother was like, have you ever been to Orlando? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to see Mickey. And my brother was like, no. Have you ever been to Orlando? He's like, there's a reason. You know, it's so cheap there. And I was like, do you remember I lived in Pottstown for 10 years? Like, when I say this one town I lived in, like, it was bad. But it's what I could afford. And I learned to, you know, you just mind your own damn business. Like, some of the things that happened there, let's just say, like, it was not a good area at all. Like, down to, if you had you couldn't even have a welcome mat out on your door. People would steal it off your doorstep. Your trash cans, don't leave your trash can out. You'd have to bring it into the apartment with you. Because, not because your trash can blew away, because somebody stole it. Like, and there was other things that happened there that, yeah, just not the bestest of neighborhoods, but it's, you know, you live where you can afford. Like, I'm not going to live out of my means. So, I'm like, I know what to do. You just kind of, like, keep to yourself and just hope for the best and hope nothing, you know, strays. So, I don't know. But then I found, and Orlando's about 2 hours away from me. You know, and then it comes down to, okay, well, you know, if you do buy something 2 hours away, because, and honestly, from the way it's looking, because there's some other towns, like, there's Arcadia, Ocala, that are, like, they're, like, in my price range. And Arcadia is more like, I don't want to say like a farm town, but anyway, Ocala and Arcadia are like closer. They're about like an hour to an hour and a half away. Because I'm thinking like, well, what are you going to do when it comes time to move? And I'm like, I don't know, movers are expensive, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not getting any younger. And then I'm like, and where are you pulling all this money out your buttocks from, you know? So I'm like, I need to sell my diamond paintings. Like, I have a lot of diamond paintings, and I'm not going to get to them all. And some of my, like, tastes have changed, or it's like when I first started, it was like a popular one. Everyone was all hyped up about it. And I was like, oh, I have to get it, you know, because of FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. That, like, I look at it now and I'm like, why did I get this? So I need to take pictures. I need to stop being lazy and, yeah, and get them posted and get them sold off. But yeah, that was more or less my weekend. On Monday, I went to the bank and I got Mr. Gabriel. Now, when I got there, I think he was on lunch, and he came back from lunch, and I was at the front of the line. So I got Gabriel, and I think he was telling me something about one of the jobs. I don't know if it was the manager position that he went for, or if it was the bank teller. But he said something about it being deleted, but I couldn't hear him, and there was like a line behind me, and because the teller next to him was just, she's loud. I really just wanted to be like, excuse me, can you please be quiet? Like, can you just tone yourself down there? Me and Gabriel are trying to have an important conversation. I don't care about, you know, the 5 other people standing in line behind me. Like, I need to know. So hopefully Gabriel's there on Friday, and I get him so I can ask him what he said, because I have no clue. So I don't think he got the one job position, which, I mean, I'd be lying if there's not a part of me that was like, woohoo, yeah, you know. But I mean, but at the same time, like, he's got to do what he's got to do, you know. I get it. I think his girlfriend lives up in Orlando, so I think he plans on, like, moving in with her or something like that, and that's why he's looking for jobs in that area. But, yeah, I don't know. It gets so fun. So fun. Like, this thing called adulting, I'm so over it. Like, I don't want to adult anymore. I don't want to be a big person. Like, can I go back to, like, I don't know, just going to school, and it was like I had to worry about getting good grades. Not that I really got the best of grades. I wasn't the greatest at that. But yeah, no, like I take back all the mean things I said about, you know, I would rather, like when I was at school, I'd rather have a job and be getting paid to sit there for 8 hours than to learn. I take that all back. I was young and dumb. Please forgive me. Like, can I please go back knowing what I know now? I will do so much stuff differently. Oh, yeah. And then, I tried to make this, and then, like, Monday, like, I got done work, and I tried making this, pig pot, it's a pot holder, but it's like a pig. And is it near me? No, I'll post it on Instagram. But I was following this one lady, like, she's great at teaching tutorials and all that, and I was following her, and I was doing good until it got to, like, the pig's feet, and then that's kind of like where I screwed it up, and I was like, I don't care, just keep going. Well, now it's not laying flat, and I still have to add the head and the piggy tail, and I don't know. I think I just might try again. I also started it. It was kind of late at night, and I was getting tired, and I think that's part of the problem, because she's, like, really good at going through the tutorial with you, like, and explaining stuff where, oh, look, there's a little yellow thing. I messed that section up right here. This little section right here. It is what it is. Is it? I don't know. We're just gonna paint this green. And we're just going for it. At this point, it is what it is. But yeah, so I tried, and that just, like I said, it won't lay flat. So I'm just like, I'll try it again. But I'm like, what, this weekend? Like, where do you think this money for this house and these movers are gonna come from? And August is like the end of August. It's like 5 months away because it's like March 1st today. So I mean, it'll go by fast, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, so yeah, I'm gonna watch what I spend. I'm waiting on a couple things to come in that I did order. Yeah, and then, you know, so I probably won't be showing as much on the channel. Like I said, I do have some things, but probably here over the next couple of months, it's not going to be as much as I used to, because it's like, do you buy diamond painting accessories or diamond paintings, or do you buy a house? I'm like, the house is kind of more important at this point. And then there we go. So yeah, my grandma actually taught me how to do all this. This is like one of the things my grandma and I used to sit there and do all the time. And then Tuesday, I had to get up and go to Walmart because I went to print something and it wouldn't print. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball and find the middle here. This looks good. So, but I thought I had another, like, thing of paper for the printer. And I had to print something out. And I was like, mother humper. So I ran to Walmart. And I meant to anyway when I was at Walmart on Monday. Because, you know, I go to the bank. And then there's a Walmart right in, like, the same parking lot area as the bank. And I meant to grab a mouse because I don't know what's up. I had a wireless mouse before I went to Pennsylvania and it worked fine. Well, then when we got this new system with the laptop, like, they gave us like a wireless keyboard and wireless mouse that went with the laptop, blah, blah, blah. I didn't bother. Like, I hooked up the wireless keyboard for a little bit, but I have this corded keyboard that it's like split where half the keys are on this side, half the keys are on this side, and there's like there's no keys in the middle. So I wound up plugging that in because honestly, like, the wireless, like, it's great, don't get me wrong, but I just, like, I always forget to turn it off. And then just replacing the batteries, I'm like, I'm old school. Just give me the keyboard with the, you know, wire on it. But I did love, like, the wireless mouse. Well, that I used to have. Well, I don't know. I think something happened to the new mouse because it would just, like, it'd be working fine and then it, like, would freeze up. Like, where it wouldn't move on the screen. And it would drive me absolutely, like, bananas. And I'd be banging, you know, and nothing. So I was like, what the, like, I'm done. After, like, 2-3 weeks of, like, playing with it, turning it off and on, replacing the batteries, like, I even took it as far as I bought brand new batteries, like, thinking, like, I don't know, maybe the batteries that I have that I know aren't used, like, maybe they're just, you know, not as strong as they used to be, you know, like, just trying everything, and nope. So I got a mouse with a cord on it, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm not fighting with the mouse on my computer anymore. Yeah. So that was my Tuesday, and I think I just, like, diamond painted a little bit. I don't know why I'm not diamond painting right now. I don't know. I mean, I love diamond painting, don't get me wrong, but there's just some days like where I'm just like, I'm just not in the mood for it. And then today is Wednesday for moi. And I'm just kind of, I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. Yeah. Oh, I do know yesterday, was it yesterday? No. Monday when I got done work, I got so tired of the leaves in my backyard that I pulled out my leaf blower and I like blew all the leaves in my backyard. Now like they're over in the corner of my fence. I need to find my gloves and get a trash bag and bag them up and get rid of them. But yeah, just kind of being a domesticated, like, I don't know, person. Living my boring little life here. It's nothing really exciting. No, I lied. I mean, there was exciting stuff, but, you know, I'm just a nimwit and was like, I'll remember it. You know those famous last words. I don't need to write it down. I'll remember. Yeah, right. I'm lucky if I remember, you know, like, did I put pants on today? Like, did I put my underwear on? Like, yeah. As I'm getting older, my memory is not what it used to be. Not at all. But, okay, let's get into some of these. I apologize. Roscoe's kind of near the thing. So it says, let's get into some of these get to know me tag questions. So, what are my hobbies? So, I love to diamond paint. I love to draw. I like to color. Really, I like being creative. I've always been that way since I was a little girl. I don't know. I just have that, like, creative little bug in me. Oh, what is on your bucket list? So, on my bucket list at this moment is buying a house. Putting my big girl panties on and going out to adults and try to buy a house. If you have bought a house at all and you have any like recommendations for like a first time home buyer on like what I need to look out for, you know, stuff like that, things you wouldn't think, please put that down in the comment section. Any help is greatly appreciated here. Let's see. What is your favorite recent memory? So that would be meeting my niece Moose. Moose is Chicky Nuggy's sister. If you're new to the channel, Chicky Nuggy and Moose are my nieces from my brother Demon Seed, the one who's a realtor. Yeah, I just love them to absolutely lots and lots of pieces. I just recently, in January, went up to Pennsylvania, and I got to meet Miss Moose Caboose and my Chicky Nuggy. And let's see, what is the next question? What is your favorite holiday? Oh, that is Halloween. Halloween, hands down, is my favorite holiday. I don't know why. Maybe it's the dressing up. Not that I really dress up anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I love Halloween. I love scary movies. They just tickle my dark little soul. What family member are you the closest to? That would have to be, I'd have to say my brother Ron, aka Demon Seed, but I don't know, because I'm pretty close to my sister-in-law, which is Demon Seed's wife. I need to come up with a name for her. Where are the coolest places you've traveled? So I've gone to Hawaii. I visited Ruby in Hawaii a couple years ago. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years when I was younger. I've also, when I lived in Pennsylvania, I don't know if you've ever heard of Centralia. I went to Centralia, and that is pretty freaking cool. I don't think you can, it's like trespassing back then, but it's like now you can't even pull it up on Google Maps, and it's not easy to find. It's really not. But yeah, that was a cool place to go. It was like the underground is on fire, and the town had to like be evacuated. And yeah, so like you walk down and you can see where the cracks are, and a lot of people like spray paint it, and it's like graffiti all over the place. And yeah, and sometimes depending on how cool it is, you can see like the steam rising up from the ground. Yeah, so Centralia is pretty freaking cool. Aside from necessities, what's one thing you cannot go a day without? That would be my fruit punch rock stars. They are like my lifeline. Some people have coffee. I have them. Yes. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to like draw and read at the same time, and my eyes can't go both ways. Bear with me. What do you enjoy spending money on? Craft supplies. If I'm being truthfully honest with you, I'm not really, like, I used to be really big into like fashion and shoes and purses, and I don't know, as I've just kind of gotten older, it's just not, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I still like clothes, but it's not like my top priority. I am quite content with like shorts and a t-shirt or a tank top, and they can be plain Jane, just solid colors. Like, I don't care. As I've gotten older, I've kind of like, I don't want to say I don't care about what I look like, but at the same time, like, I'm not worried about like, ooh, what is this person gonna think? Like, I don't really care. Unless you're helping me pay my bills, I don't care. Let's see what else. What is your useless talent? So, I know how to do a duck call. I won't do it now because my phone is like right pretty close, and if I did the duck call, it would be loud. There is one video, I think it might be, let me see. I think it was like one of, I did 2 Christmas premieres, and it might be in one of them. Well, I know it's in one of them. I think it's a tag question, get to know me, Christmas premiere. I don't know. If I could choose one superpower, what would it be? It would be to fly. Have you seen the prices of airline tickets here recently? Like, I would be flying all over the place. I'd be flapping my wings, flying to Pennsylvania, swooping in, stealing chicky nugget and moose. My brother and sister-in-law would be like, oh, where are they? They find a little note like, hey, Aunt Nene came and stole moose and chicky nugget. I might bring him back. What is your strangest irrational fear? So this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but I absolutely refuse. I mean, like, I will not do it. I will walk out in front of a car. Like, it will not happen. I will not walk over a sewer grate. I watched it, the movie, at, like, the original one, at way too young of an age. Like, I can now, like, I was terrified of clowns there for a while, and I made myself get over my fear because I wanted to watch the one season of American Horror Story, and I was told there was a clown, so I made myself watch it as I was older, and I realized, like, being older, you know, like, in, like, I think, was I in my late 20s? Maybe my early 30s. I think it's my early 30s. That, yeah, he's not as frightening, you know, compared to my 10-year-old image in my brain. But I still won't walk over a sewer grate. What is your most random impulse buy? My car. If you were around for last year, you know I had problems with my old car. I got it fixed. Not even 3 weeks later, I didn't even drive it 100 miles after paying to get it fixed. And the check engine light came back on. I took it back to the dealership. I was walking around and I said, I like this car. This looks like it could be in my price range. And I left with a different car that day. Yes. What did you do as a teenager that makes you cringe now? So as a teenager, like, I was a major freaking beach. Like, major beach. I look back on some of the things I did when I was like a teenager, and just like, I was mean. Like, if I didn't like you, I was really freaking mean. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still kind of have that in me today. I just know how to hide it. And I guess not hide it, but I guess, like, control it. But, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. What emoji do you use most often? That would be the laughing emoji. A genie grants you the ability to have an infinite amount of one item. What is it? Money. Then I can buy the house of my dreams and just, like, pay it off, not have a mortgage. Like, that would be lovely, right? There's a question for you. You know, if a genie granted you, you know, what was it? A genie grants you the ability to have an infinite amount of one item. What is it? Put that down in the comment section below. I would like to know what your answer would be. Okay, let me whoop. What is the best Halloween costume you ever wore? It was a cow with udders on it. Yes, it had udders. What do you waste your time most? How do you waste your time most often? Watching TV. Okay. Do you have a significant other? No, I don't have time for men and their games. Like, I haven't totally written them off, but when I say, like, it is going to take somebody, like, that is determined and very freaking special, that, like, he's going to have to prove himself, because, one, I've been single for so long that, like, yeah, like, I don't know, I'd just rather be single than deal with the BS that comes with being in a relationship. Like, I wouldn't even know what to do. I mean, like, I know what to do, you know, but I'm like, what? Like, do I gotta tell him he's pretty? Like, be nice to him? Like I could tell him he's handsome, or, you know, whatever, but, like, that whole be a nice part, like, I don't know if he does something stupid, like, I don't know. Like, when I say, like, I have no problems cutting, like, toxic people out of my life, like they never existed. It is, I don't know if it's a blessing or if it's a curse, but yeah, I don't know. I've put up with too much that I'm like, nope, not gonna happen, Captain. Go play your reindeer games with someone else. Do you have kids? Yes, I have 3. My daughter will be 25 on Friday. And then my sons are 20 and 18. They will be turning 21 and 19 this year. Who do you live with? I live with Roscoe P. Jenkins. That is my puppy dog. He is a royal pain in the butt, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. Let's see. It's kind of the same. What kind of elderly person do you hope to be? I have one name for you. One name. Sophia Petrillo. I aspire to be like her when I get older. I'm about halfway there because half the time the stuff that comes out of my mouth, like, I'm just about as shocked as everybody else in the room. I'm like, whoo, did that really come out my mouth? Yes, it did. I'm also very, I'm very honest. So, like, if you can't handle honesty, like, I'm not the one to come to. Nope. Let's see, what else do we got here? What is your favorite season? Summer. That is why I moved to Florida and away from Pennsylvania. What book changed your life? So there's, I worked for a chiropractor, and I loved, it was like a family practice, and I absolutely loved them. And the one time, like, I turned around and I was like in a funk, and I had been in a funk for like a while, and they're very like positive, upbeat people. Like, you can't help but kind of get that, you know, energy. And I turned around to Dr. Andy. We were like, it was a Monday night, and because I had off Tuesday mornings where we didn't have to be in until 2:30 in the afternoon. And I remember I turned around to Dr. Andy that Monday night, like none of the patients were there, like we were closed, just like getting ready to leave. And I told him, I was like, you know, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a funk. I'm like, I'm just in a bad mood, and I can't shake it. And he was like, you know what? He's like, hold on. And he goes into his one office, and he comes back out with a book. And it was Tuesday with Maury by Mitch Albom. And he was like, read this, you know. He's like, you know, when you're done, you know, just give it back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm thinking, like, the hell is a book gonna do? But we'll go for it, right? Like, I'll at least check it out. And I did. Like, I went home that night and I read the whole book. Like, and it made me change my thinking on it. Like, thinking about, like, some of the things, like, I was just being, like, petty over. And it definitely, it changed my life, where I try to at least read that book once a year. And then I also, like, I mean, Mitch Albom, he's my all-time favorite author, like, hands down. I have so many of his books, and I love the way he writes, because it's like he makes you stop and think, almost, you know what I mean? Like, and every time I read them, I get like a different feeling, like something makes me realize and opening my eyes. I don't know, like they're life opening, not memorizing, but it's like a ta-da, like a light bulb goes off in your head moment. And I'm like, I don't, and it's, yeah, so yeah. If you haven't ever read a Mitch Albom book, like, I recommend Tuesday with Maury's or The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Let's see, what is your favorite song? I don't know, it depends on my mood. I listen to, like, all kinds of different genres of music. It really just depends on my mood. Sometimes, like, I go through, like, country kicks, I go through rap kicks, I go through hip-hop kicks, I go through, like, not so much R&B R&B. I'm not, I mean, I like R&B, but I'm not, yeah. Like, I could take it and leave it. I guess, I don't know. I'm not one of them, like, sappy girls. I was built different. No offense, you know what I mean? If you're that type of girl, hey, more power to you. I'm just not me. Let's see, what else? What is the last book you read? I think, what was it? The Asylum Confessions. I think book 3. I started reading. I was like on a roll there for a while. I started reading book 4, and that's about as far as I got. I started reading it. And I mean, it's good. I've just been, you know, not wasting my time. Reading is not a waste of time. Just, I don't know, focusing my, you know, time and energy elsewhere. I need to make, like, a schedule for myself and maybe better, like, prepare. Like, okay, like, at this time, eat dinner. On this day, you're going to do this for, like, an hour. You know what I mean? Just, I need to put myself on a schedule because I've gotten really lazy here lately, and it's not good. It's like there's things you know you have to do, and you're like, I'll do it. And I was doing good there until I went up to Pennsylvania, and then I went up to Pennsylvania, and it all fell to the side. I blame my boss. He sent me up there for work. He should have known better. Let me stop. If given the opportunity, what book would you write? Oh, I've already said it. Yep, when certain people in my family pass away, I'm writing a damn tell-all book. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, it could be like a series book, just the BS. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Some of the adults in my life are, I don't know. They are what they are. I can't change them. They are adults. But yeah, no, I mean, going all the way back to my childhood, like, whew. It's like, just let the skeletons out of the closet, you know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, they're here. They're gone. I don't have to deal with the backlash of it, you know? But yes, so, I don't know. Maybe that's another thing on my bucket list. Writing that tell-all book. I guess I'd have to sit down and start writing it, wouldn't I? I'll put it on my things to, like, schedule. Oh, man. I tell you, what the hell is wrong with me? I need to stop being lazy. I'm just being a lazy caboose. That's really what it is. I need to stop being lazy. Stop being lazy, Susan. If you won the lottery, what would you do first? Buy a house. Do you have any tattoos? Yes, I have 5. I do. Maybe one day I'll get into my tattoos and the reasons behind them. What is your favorite color? Purple. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have a Cocker Spaniel named Roscoe P. Jenkins. Do you have brothers and sisters? Yes. Yes, I do. I have quite a lot of them. There is Demon Seed. He is, now, like, I'll say, like, these are, like, my brothers and sisters, but to break it down for you, just so it, like, makes sense, Demon Seed, which is my brother Ron, he is my real brother. We have the same mom and dad. I have a half-brother, Matthew, that is from our state. Like, me and Demon Seed have the same dad. Matt has a different mom. Colleen and Frank are my stepbrother and sister, but I consider them like my brother and sister because our parents got together when we were like 9 or 10. So we basically grew up, and our parents have now divorced. And they just got a divorce, like 3, 4 years ago. So, I mean, we all basically grew up together. So that's why I said they're my brother and my sister. They're not step, but it's just easier. Like, me and Colleen are 6 months apart. Like, I'm older than her by 6 months. She's older than Demon Seed by, I think it's like 8 months. My brother Frank is a year older than me. So it's like, when you break it down like that, you're like, wait, that doesn't math. That doesn't add up. Like, could your parents get, like, did they ever leave their room? Like, yeah. So that's where the math comes from. But I usually say my sister, my brother, you know, that good macaroni and cheese. Let's see. What is your favorite summer activity? I love to go tubing down rivers. I will not do it in Florida because I don't know. I'm afraid I'll run into an alligator, and I'm just, nope. I'm good. I don't want to be in the water with an alligator. I'll pass. At least not in a tube. Like, maybe a boat, but not an inflatable tube. Nope. I don't think I will win. I don't think I will live to talk about, like, I went tubing and saw an alligator. Nope. Let's see. What is your favorite winter activity? When I lived places where it was cold, it was staying inside. But if I had to, you know, venture out, I'd have to say, like, when it would snow, going sledding down this one big, huge hill that's behind this one high school and middle school. I mean, it's huge. It takes you probably about 5 minutes to walk up this hill. And when I say, like, you fly down these hills, you fly down these hills. Who is your favorite Disney character? Moana. I love Moana. I saw it in the movie theater with one of my best friends, Allison. I even have the soundtrack. Yes, I love me some Moana. Okay, let's see. What is your favorite snack? That would be Reese's. I love, like, Reese's cups. Like, I mean, I like Reese's cups, but I'd have to say, like, my favorite are, like, the, you know, like at Easter, they have, like, the egg-shaped ones. Those kind of Reese's are my all-time favorite. And I think it's because, like, the chocolate around them, it's like softer, and I think you get more peanut butter to chocolate ratio, and I'm all about that peanut butter. If you could make one rule for everyone in the world to follow, what would it be? I'd have to say be kind and forgiving. Yeah. I know that's not always, that's easier said than done, but, you know, nobody's perfect. We all make our mistakes, but, you know, if we can forgive people, that would. But I don't know. Sometimes some people don't deserve to be forgiven. I don't know. Don't always listen to me. Don't always take my advice. Let's see. If you could own any animal as a pet, what would you choose? that is a no-brainer. That would be a floaty potato. If you don't know what a floaty potato is, that is what I call a manatee. I absolutely love floaty potatoes. They just, I don't know. Them little sea cows just speak to my soul. They do something to me. They turn me into like a big, soft, fluffy, like marshmallow. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but they do. Literally, I could sit and watch floaty potatoes for hours and just be like tickled pink, like in absolute awe and heaven. Like I'd have to say that would probably be like the perfect date for me. Like, take me to go see floaty potatoes and feed me tacos. And you have won my heart. Okay, we're almost done here. What is your favorite sport? My favorite sport would have to be boxing. I don't know. There's just something about it. Boxing and hockey. I like the fights. What can I say? Let's see, what else do we have? We're almost done here. If you could speak to one deceased person for 30 seconds, who would it be and what would you say? It would definitely have to be my grandmom. Like, I miss that woman like something fierce. I really do. She is the one who, like, what I'm doing right now, she's the one who taught me how to do this. She's the one that I think I got most of, like, my crafting from. She was a cool, spunky lady. Like, she was one of a kind. You know, one of these times I'm going to have to make, like, a Wip Chat where I just talk about my grandmom. Because when I say, like, she was a freaking hoot. Like, just, oh, she was awesome. I miss her. I do. I miss her a lot. What would I say to her? I don't even know. Like, 30 seconds is not a lot of time. I'd probably just tell her, like, I love her and I miss her. Definitely. Like, my world definitely got dark and gray when that woman left. What is the best advice you have ever received? Be true to yourself. Definitely. Be true to yourself. Like, if you don't like something and you know you don't like something, like, just don't do it. Just hold yourself accountable. I don't know. That's not really making sense, but yeah, just be you. Don't go out there trying to, you know, do things or say things because you think, you know, that's what other people, you know, want you to be. Like, if you do that, you're just going to make yourself absolutely miserable. And yeah, I would rather just be my weird, funky self. And, you know, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, like, my world's not going to end. My world is going to keep on going, sweet cheeks. Like, so, yeah. Let me see. All right. Oh, we're over an hour. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Is there something that you've dreamed of doing a long time? And why haven't you done it? So that would be jumping out of a plane. Probably the reason as to why I have not done that is because my fear of that dang parachute not not opening. Like, nope, nope, nope. Like, that is a long fall. Like, I'm good. I'll take your word on it. Like, nope, I'm good. So good. But you know what, guys? With that said, that gets me out of all my tag questions that I have printed out. Got this far. Kind of got a little more than halfway on my little, you know, flower designs here. But I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys.